What is up, guys? Welcome back to another video. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can automate a recruitment agency using make.com. Let's get started. On Whimsical, I've outlined all the processes for a recruitment agency that we're going to automate in this video. The first process that we're going to automate is lead capture for recruitment services. We're going to capture leads from social media ads via a type form. After collecting the leads' personal information, we're going to create an automation on Make that automatically adds their data on Monday and sends them a confirmation email. The next process that we're going to automate is candidate screening process. Yeah, we'll create an automation that automatically extracts information from resumes or cover letters, then stores the candidates on Monday. The next process that we're going to automate for recruitment agency is a candidate onboarding process. We're going to create an automation that automatically requests documents like IDs or work history from candidates. We're also going to create a Slack channel for communication with the candidates. We'll also create an automation that sends a contract to the candidate for signing. The next process that we'll automate is a client onboarding process. We'll create an automation that automatically sends welcome emails, shares onboarding documents, and schedules for an introductory call. We'll also create a Slack channel for communication with the client. The next process that we're going to automate for recruitment agency is the invoicing and payment reminder process. Here, we'll automatically create an automation that generates an invoice and sends it to the client. We'll also send follow-up reminders for overdue payments. And the next process that we're going to automate is the employee training for new recruiters. Here, when a new recruiter joins, we'll create an automation that automatically sends them training materials and schedules for team introduction call. The process that we're going to automate for recruitment agency is a social media recruiting process. After job listing images are created and added to a Google Drive folder, we'll schedule or publish the post across social media platforms at designated times. We'll also automate the referral process, where we'll set up workflows to track referrals, reward candidates, and notify referrals. So yeah, when a referred candidate is hired, we'll send a thank you email to the referrer and trigger an incentive reward. The last process that we're going to automate for recruitment agency in this video will be collecting feedback from clients. When a candidate is successfully placed, we'll trigger an email or a survey to ask for feedback from the clients and consolidate their responses into a central database. The first process that we're going to automate for recruitment agency is the lead capture process. Yeah, we're going to create a form on Typeform that we're going to link to our social media ads for the leads to fill in the form with their personal information. And then we're going to create an automation on Make that automatically collects their data from Typeform and adds the data to Monday. On Typeform, I've created this form that I've renamed to Recruitment Agency Capture Form. This is the form that we're going to attach to our ads for leads to fill in their personal information. On the form, we're asking them to submit their first name, last name, their email, and their company name. We're also asking them what job title or role are you seeking. Then they're going to type in the answer here. We're also asking them what are your key skills or areas of expertise. And then they're going to type in the answer here. And then we are also asking them what type of job are you looking for? Full-time, part-time, contract, or temporary. After they fill in their information right here, we're going to add them recruitment clients board that I've created on Monday. We are collecting their full name. We are assigning them to a member of our team. On status, we have intake, onboard, send invoice, ask for referral, and ask for feedback as the status of each of our clients. Then we're also collecting their first name, last name, company name, email, desired job title, job type, and the key skills right here on Monday. To add their data from Typeform to Monday, we'll create an automation on make.com that automatically adds their data from Typeform to Monday right here. So on Make, I've created this recruitment agency system folder. I'll click on create a new scenario. I'm going to search for Typeform, then click on Typeform. I'm going to use watch response as a trigger. Now here we have two watch responses triggers. The difference between the two, the one with ACID only, you'll choose when you would like to trigger the module. But the one with instant, it instantly triggers after the lead submits the form. Since I would like to choose when I would like to start, I'll click on the one with the ACID only. You'll need to create a connection between your Typeform account and make.com account. To do that, click on add, and then here, rename your connection, then click on save. A new window will be prompted where you'll choose the account that you like to connect to Make. Then after choosing the account, your connection will be created. I'm going to close and choose my connection right here. For the limit, I'm going to limit it to 1. Then I'm going to choose our lead capture form over here. So our form is recruitment agency capture form. Then I'll click on OK. Then here, we'll choose to start from now, but you can also choose to start from a specific date, all, or choose manually. I'm going to choose start from now, then click on OK. We'll need to fill in our form to capture our data on Typeform. I'm going to click on share. And then here, I'll copy the link of our form and open the link on a new tab. And then here, I'll click on start to fill in our form. Here, I'll add personal information for an example lead. The first name is Joe. The last name is Jackson. And we can add the email as joejackson@annex.com. And their company name is Annex. Then I'll click on OK. Here, we can say that we're seeking a marketing specialist. And I'm going to click on OK. We like for them to have an expertise in SEO optimization. And I'll click on OK. And then we're looking for someone who would like to work full time. And I'll click on submit. On Make, I'll run this module. And here you can see that we are capturing our data over here. Now, with our data, we can set up an automation that automatically adds the data right here on Monday. So here, I'll add another module. Click on Tools. And here, I'll click on the Sleep module. And we can delay for 3 seconds to give Typeform some time to populate the leads data. Here, I'll add another module. Then search for Monday. And then here, I'll search for Create an Item module. And here, we'll create a connection between your Monday.com account and make.com account. To do that, click on Add. Here, you'll rename your connection. Then you'll add your API key over here. And after adding your API key, click on Save. And your connection will be created. Then here, we'll add our item name. For the item name, we're going to add the first and last name of our lead. So I'll add the first name, then click on space, add the last name. And here I'll choose our board. Board is called Recruitment Clients. Here I'll choose our group ID, which is Clients List. Then here, we can add the values to the columns on Monday with the data we collected from Typeform. So here I'll choose the first column, which is assignee. Then I'm going to assign myself these leads. So I'm going to choose person. And I'll click on add another item, a new column, which is company. And for the value, I'm going to add the company value from Typeform, which is Annex. Then I'll add a new item, choose another column. So I'm going to choose desired job title as a column. And I'm going to add the value, which is marketing specialist. Add a new item, choose another column. I'm going to choose email. Here we're going to add the email address. You can also use the email as a text. Then I'll add a new item, choose another column. And I'm going to choose first name as a column. I'm going to give it the value for the first name, which is Joe. Then I'm going to add a new item, choose another column. And I'm going to choose job type as a column. Then I'm going to add the value for the job type, full time. Then add a new item, choose another column. Then I'll choose key skills. Then here, you can see we want them to know how to optimize our pages. And then I'll add a new item, choose another column. And I'm going to choose last name as a column. And I'm going to add the value right here for the last name, which will be Jackson. Then I'll add a new item, choose another column. I'm going to choose status. And then yeah, I'm going to choose to label it. And we're going to label these as intake. Then I'll click on OK. After adding the data on Monday, we can send them a confirmation email. So here, I'll add another module. And then search for email. And on email, I'll click on send an email module. Yeah, we can rename these to confirmation email. Then click on OK. For confirmation email, we're going to add our lead's email address right here. So we're going to add Joe Jackson's email right here as the recipient. Then the subject line of this email could be on the lines of confirmation of your submission, Lax Recruitment Agency. The content type, I'm going to choose plain text. And the content of the email could be on the lines of hi, first name. So here we're adding the first name right here, which is Joe. Thank you for submitting your details to Lax Recruitment Agency. We have successfully received information and are excited to assist you in your job search journey. Here's what happens next. Number 1, review. Our team will carefully review your profile to match the skills, the right opportunities. If we need additional details or have suitable opportunities for you, we'll get in touch shortly. We also tell them you'll receive updates on job matches and potential interviews via email or phone. If you have any questions or want to share additional details, feel free to reply to this email or call us at this phone number. We're here to help you find the role that fits your aspirations. Thank you for choosing Lax Recruitment Agency. Best regards, Jane. And then here I'm going to click on OK. So after sending the confirmation email, we can also notify our team of the new client via Slack. So I'll add another module and search for Slack. Then click on Slack. Then on Slack, I'll click on create a message module. You can rename this module to team notification. Then click on OK. You'll also need to create a connection between your Slack account and make.com. To do that, just click on add, choose a connection type, which will be Slack user, and rename your connection right here. Click on save. And a new window will be prompted where you'll choose the account that you'd like to connect to Make. Since I already created my connection, I'm going to choose my connection right here. To enter a channel, we're going to select a channel from a list. The channel type will be public, and then here I'm going to choose the channel with our team members. And then this is a message that we're going to send our team after a new lead submits the form. The message could be on the lines of, "What's up, team? We've received a new submission from," and then we're adding the first and last name right here. Through our recruitment form, please find the key details right here. So we're adding the client's full name, the desired job title, the key skills, contact information, and the job type. Then we're concluding the message by saying, "Please review the information and follow up accordingly. If additional details are needed, feel free to reach out to the client directly." And then here I'm going to click on OK. Test if automation works. I'm not going to submit the form again, but I'm going to choose to start from our previous submission. So I'm going to choose manually, choose our previous submission, then click on OK, and then I'll run automation. You can see that automation ran successfully. Here we got our previous submission that we did. Then we delayed for 3 seconds. Then we added the lead to our monday.com board. Then we sent them this confirmation email with the subject line and this text right here. Then we notified our team about the client using this text over here. On Monday, you'll see right here that we just added a new client. Here we have their full name. We assigned them to a member of our team. Their status is intake. Here we have their first name, last name, company name, the email, their desired job title, job type, and their key skills. So with this simple automation, we automated the first process for a recruitment agency, which is capturing leads and automatically adding the leads to Monday and sending the leads a confirmation email. We're also notifying our team of the lead on Slack. Now, the next process that we're going to automate for a recruitment agency is the candidate screening process, where we'll create an automation that automatically extracts information from resumes and then stores the candidates on Monday. Automate the candidate screening process. On our recruitment agency system folder, I'll click on create a new scenario. I'm going to search for emails, and then I'm going to click on watch emails. Here, we're going to watch incoming emails to a specific email or with a specific subject line. Choose our folder as inbox. For criteria, I'm going to choose all emails. You can add the recipient email address that the candidates will be sending their resumes or cover letters to, or you can filter all the emails using a subject line. For example, you can only select emails with the subject line application for marketing specialist role. And then here, maximum number results, I'm going to choose 1. And then I'm going to click on OK. And then here we can choose when we'd like to start. So here we can start from now. We can start from a specific date. We can start from all emails, or we can select the first email. I'm going to choose from all, then click on OK. And then here, I'll run this module. You can see we have an email with this specific subject line. And this is the email right here. Here we also have an attachment. So here, I'll add another module. And then on tools, I'm going to sleep for 3 seconds. Right here, then click on OK. And then here, I like to set up a filter and label it to attachment exists. And then here, the condition, I'm going to say attachment should exist. Then click on OK. I'm going to choose to start from all, then click on OK, and then run automation again. Now you can see that we have an attachment. Our attachment exists. Now with our attachment, we can use a tool like Eden AI to extract data from our attachment. In this case, it's either a cover letter or a resume. So I'm going to search for extract resume. Information in resume. Then here, we can add our file name. So on attachment, I've attached like a document, automation prospects document. This is just an example of a document. And then here we're going to add our data, which is this data right here. For the providers, you can choose to select all, or you can select any of the service providers, then click on OK. And then after we've extracted the information from our resume, we're going to add the candidates on Monday. So on Monday, I've also created another board that I've renamed to recruitment candidates. Here we're going to list our candidates on this board. We are collecting their full name, their email, their status, and on status we have intake and onboard is the status of each of our candidates. We're also collecting their work experience, language, skills, certifications, and interests. I'm going to add another module. Then on Monday, I'm going to search for create an item module. For the item name, we're going to add our candidate's name to the board. I'm going to search for recruitment candidates. For the group ID, I'm going to choose candidates list. Then here, we're going to add the values from the data that we extracted from our resume. So here, the first column I'm going to choose is certifications. Then here we're going to add the value for certifications from the results. And then extracted data. And here on certifications, we're going to add the name of the certification. Then on item, and then I'll add a new item, choose a new column. And I'll choose the email. Here we're going to add the email address. The email address will be the email address that they sent as the resume. So we're going to add the email address right here. And then choose another item. And then here I'll choose a new column. The column will be full name. You can add their full name, should be their sender name. You can add a new item and choose a new column. Here we're going to choose interest as a column. Then we can add the value for their interest, which should be this interest right here. And we can add a new item, choose a new column. We're going to add the language column. Then here we can add the value for the languages, should be this name right here. You can add a new item, choose another column. I'm going to choose the skills as the column. You can add the value for the skills. So on skills, I'm going to add the name of the skill right here. And then add a new item and choose a new column. Then I'll choose status as a column. And here I'm going to label it. I'm going to label it to intake. Then I'll add a new item. I'm going to choose another column. The column will be, I'm going to choose work experience as a column. And here you can add the value for the work experience. So here you can add the title. Here you can add the title of the job. And then here I'm going to click on OK. All you have to do is turn on our automation, and then it's going to watch our emails with this subject line. And then if there's an attachment, we're going to sleep for 3 seconds to give time for our module to populate our client's data. And then the attachment, we're going to extract the information of the resume and then add the data of our candidate to Monday. On this board right here, we will collect their full name, email, status, work experience, language skills, certifications, and their interests. With this simple automation, we've automated the second process for recruitment agency, which is candidate screening process. The next process that we're going to automate for recruitment agency is the candidate onboarding process. Yeah, we're going to create an automation that requires documents like IDs and work history from our candidate. We'll also automatically create a Slack channel for communication purposes with the candidate. And then we're also going to send them a contract for them to sign via email. Automate the candidate onboarding process. On our recruitment agency system folder, I'll click on create a new scenario. I'll rename the scenario to candidate onboarding. I'll set up a webhook that will be triggered after the status of one of our candidates changes to onboard. So here, I'll search for webhook, then click on custom webhook. Here I'll click on add, then rename our webhook to candidates onboarding. Then I'll click on save. Then I'll copy the link to our webhook, then click on OK. Then I'll run our webhook. Then on our recruitment candidates board, I'll click on integrate. Then click on webhooks. And then I would like to send our webhook when the status of one of our candidates changes to onboard. So I'll use this as our template. Then I'll use another account right here. Then I'll paste the webhook URL that we copied. And then I'll click on connect. It says fail to communicate with the URL provided. So here we'll return these text using a webhook response. So on webhooks, I'll click on webhook response. And here I'll add 2 curly braces. And I'll write challenge right here. And here I'll add our text and click on OK. Then I'll run our webhook again. Then I'll click on connect on Monday. You can see that it ran successfully. Here I'll delete the response. Then I'll run our webhook to test it. Then here, I'll set up a webhook where I would like to send our webhook when the status of one of our candidates changes to onboard, and I'll click on create automation. Now to test if our webhook works, I'll change the status of one of our candidates to onboard. You can see that it ran successfully. Here, we're getting the specific candidate whose status we just changed. Now, to get the rest of their data, like their first name, last name, and their email, I'll copy this pulse ID, and then I'll add another module and click on Monday. And then on Monday, I'll search for get an item module, and click on get an item. For the ID, I'm going to add the pulse ID right here. And for the board, I'm going to choose our recruitment candidates board. So I'm going to click on recruitment candidates, then click on OK. Then I'll run this module by pasting our pulse ID right here, and click on OK. You can see we're getting the rest of their data right here, their full name, email, work experience, language skills, certifications, and interests. Now with their data, we can create a contract that we're going to send them for them to sign. I'm going to create a contract using this tool called PandaDoc. So here, I'll search for PandaDoc, then click on PandaDoc. Here, I'm going to click on create a document. You also need to create a connection between your PandaDoc account and make.com. To do that, just click on add, then rename your connection right here, then click on save. And your window will be prompted for you to choose the account that you'd like to link to Make. And after choosing the account, your connection will be created. On PandaDoc, I'll click on templates. Then here, I'll click on template. Here, we're going to create a contract from contract templates on PandaDoc. So I'm going to search for contract. And then here, you can use any of these templates to create a candidate contract. You can choose any of these templates right here. For example, this one, then click on add one item. Now, here, with our templates, you can customize these contracts to make sure it's in line with the services that you're offering and the message is speaking directly to the candidates. And then you can add the sign off over here. Now, after customizing your contract, you can also rename it to candidates contract template. I'll click on create document. Then here I'll rename our document to candidates contract. Then I'll click on continue. With our contract created on Monday, here we can give our contract a name. For example, we can call it our candidates contract. Then for the template ID, I'm going to choose our recent template that we just created, which is candidates contract template. Then here you're going to fill in these details right here, and then click on OK. So here I'll rename this module to create contract. Click on OK. Now after we've created our contract from these templates, we're going to add another module, and then on PandaDoc we're going to download our contract. Here we're going to add the document ID, which should be this ID right here, and click on OK. So you can unlink this and then run this module and see if we're going to get our contract. And then here we can give it a full name and click on OK. You can see that we created our contract right here with this document ID. Now here we're going to add the document ID, which is its document ID of our contract, and click on OK. And then I'll rename this module to download contract and click on OK. The next thing we're going to do here, we're going to create our clients folder where they will upload all the necessary documents that we're going to request them via email. So on Google Drive, I'll click on create a folder. And then here, we're going to add the folder location. You can leave it as home. Then we can add the folder's name, which will be our candidates folder. And then I'm going to click on OK. And here, I'll rename this to candidate folder. And then I'll click on OK. You can also create a Slack channel for communication with these candidates. So I'll search for Slack and click on Slack. And then here, I'll click on create a Slack channel. And then here we can give our Slack channel a name. So here, we can add the name of our candidate and click on OK. And then here we can send the candidate the contract and their folder via email. So here, I'll search for email, then click on send an email module. Then I'll rename this module to onboarding email. And then click on OK. For onboarding email, the email address, we're going to add the email address of our candidate. We're going to get the email address from the email Monday. And then the subject line of this email could be on the lines of next steps for onboarding. Lax Recruitment Agency. The content type, we're choosing plain text. Then the content of the email could be on the lines of Dear, and then here we're going to add their full name. Thank you for moving forward with us in the onboarding process at Lax Recruitment Agency. We're excited to get you through the next steps to ensure everything goes smoothly. Here's what you need to do next. Number one is to submit required documents. Please upload the following documents using the link below: a valid ID, work history, all relevant certifications if applicable. And here we can add the link to our folder. They will upload the documents. So we're going to add the web view link over here. The next thing we're telling them is to review and sign your contract electronically using the link below. Then here we're going to add our contract link, which will be in PDF format. And then third, we're telling them we've set up a dedicated Slack channel for seamless communication. You'll receive an invitation link shortly where you can connect with our team and stay connected throughout the process. If you have any questions or need assistance, do not hesitate to reach out to us via this email or this phone number. We are thrilled to have you in this stage of the process. Look forward to seeing you succeed with us. Warm regards, Lax Recruitment Agency team, and click on OK. To test if automation works, I'll run it. Then on Monday, I'll change the status of one of our candidates to on board. You can see that automation ran successfully. We triggered our webhook after we changed the status of one of our candidates to on board. So we got their data right here. We created a contract for them, and we downloaded it. We also created our candidates a folder. They'll upload their ID or work history. And then we also created a Slack channel for communication with this candidate. And then we sent them the contract and the folder using this onboarding email right here with the subject line and this content right here. You can see we're sending them the contract in a PDF format with a link of our Google Drive where they will upload their documents. So with this simple automation, we've automated the candidate onboarding process. The next process that we'll automate is a client onboarding process, where we'll create an automation that automatically sends a welcome email to clients, shares onboarding documents, and schedules for an introductory call. We're also going to create a Slack channel for communication with the client. To automate the client onboarding process, on our recruitment agency system folder, I'll click on create a new scenario. I'll rename our scenario to client onboarding. Then here, I'll create a webhook that will be triggered after the status of one of our clients changes to onboard. So here, I'll click on webhook, then click on custom webhook. Here I'll click on add, then I'll rename our webhook to client onboarding, and then I'll click on save. And then here, I'll copy the link of our webhook, then click on OK. And then here, I'll run our webhook. And then on our recruitment clients board, I'll click on integrate. And then I'll click on webhooks. Then here, I like to send a webhook when the status of one of our clients changes to something. So I'll use this as our template. And then here I'll use another account and paste the webhook URL that we just copied. Then click on connect. It says fail to communicate with the URL provided. I will need to return this challenge text using a webhook response. So on webhooks, I'll click on webhook response. And then here, I'll add two curly braces. And then here I'll write challenge. Then I'll add our text and click on OK. Then I'll run our webhook again. And then I'll click on connect. You can see that it ran successfully. I'll delete the response, then run our webhook again to test it. Then here we can set up our webhook. So we'd like to send our webhook when the status of one of our clients changes to onboard. Then I'll click on create automation. Now here, to test if it works, I'll change the status of one of our clients to onboard. You can see that it ran successfully, and we're getting the specific client whose status we just changed. To get the rest of their data, I'll copy this pulse ID, and then I'll add another module and search for Monday. Then I'll search for get an item module, then click on get an item. The ID, I'm going to add the pulse ID, and then for the board ID, I'm going to search for recruitment clients board and click on OK. And then here I'll run this module only and paste our pulse ID right here, then click on OK. You can see that we're getting our clients data, like their first name, last name, company name, the email, and their desired job title, job type, and their key skills. Here we can create a scheduling link that we're going to send to our clients via email. We're also going to share onboarding documents from our Google Drive folder and create a Slack channel for communication purposes with the client. So here we're going to start by creating a scheduling link using Calendly. So I'll search for Calendly, then click on create a scheduling link module. For the maximum event count, I'm going to choose 1. Then here for the event type, I'm going to choose onboarding call and click on OK. So here I'll rename this to onboarding link. onboarding call link. Then click on OK. Besides sending them the scheduling link, we can also find our onboarding checklist from our Google Drive folder and send them the document. So on Google Drive, I'll click on search for files and folder. Here I'm going to choose a folder. Folder is going to be files. We like to retrieve files and folders. And here I'm going to perform a full text search. And here I'm going to add our query, looking for a document called onboarding checklist. You can limit it to 1 and click on OK. So here we can run this module and see if we're going to get our checklist. Or we can see here we are now getting our document from that folder. So here I think our document is in the onboarding folder. And here I'll click on OK. Now let us run it again. Now you can see we're getting our onboarding checklist right here from our folder. Now we can create a link for this document and send it to our client via email. So I'll rename this onboarding checklist. Then click on OK. Then here on Google Drive, I'll click on Get a Share Link module. For the file ID, I'm going to add the file ID right here. Role, I'm going to leave it as reader. For the type, I'm going to choose anyone with the link and click on OK. And here, I'll rename this to onboarding checklist link. And then I'll click on OK. Now, we'll also create a Slack channel for this client. So I'll search for Slack, and then I'll click on create a channel module. Here we can give our channel a name. We can give it the name, the first name of our client, and then click on OK. And then now here, and then we can now send the client the scheduling link and the onboarding checklist link via email. I'll add another module, and then click on email, and then I'll click on send an email module. And then I'll rename this module to onboarding email. And then here I'll click on OK. For onboarding email, yeah, we're going to add the email address of our client from Monday. Right here, so this email right here. The subject line of this email could be in the lines of welcome to Lux Recruitment Agency. The content type, we're going to choose plain text. And for the content of the email could be in the lines of hi, first name. We're thrilled to have you on board and look forward to building a successful partnership with you. Here is what happens next. And then first thing, we are giving them access to our onboarding documents. We tell them we prepared a folder with all the essential onboarding documents to get you started. You can access it right here. We are adding the link to our folder right here from our Get Share Link module. We also tell them to please use the link below to book a convenient time for introductory call. And then we're adding our booking URL from Calendly right here. We're also telling them we've set up a dedicated Slack channel for seamless communication. You will receive an invitation link shortly where you can connect with our team and stay updated throughout the process. Should you have any questions or need assistance in the meantime, do not hesitate to reach out at, and then we're adding our email address and our phone number. We're excited to work with you and help you achieve your goals. Warm regards, Lux Recruitment Agency. So now to test if automation works, I'll run it. And then on Monday, I'll change the status of one of our clients to onboard. You can see that our automation ran successfully. We triggered our webhook after we changed the status of one of our clients to onboard. We got their data. We created a scheduling link, which they'll use to schedule for an onboarding call. Then we got our onboarding checklist. We created a link for the checklist. We also created a Slack channel. And then we send the client the scheduling link and the checklist link via this onboarding email right here with the subject line and this content right here. So here we're giving them access to onboarding documents using this link right here. And then we tell them to schedule for an introductory call using this link over here. So with this simple automation, we've automated the client onboarding process for a recruitment agency. The next process that we're going to automate is the invoicing and payment reminders process. We're going to create an automation that generates an invoice and sends it to the client. We're also going to send follow-up reminders for overdue payments. To automate the invoicing and payment reminder process, on our recruitment agency system folder, I'll click on create a new scenario. I'll rename our scenario to invoicing and payments reminders. And then here, I'll create a webhook that will be triggered after the status of one of our clients changes to send invoice. So here, I'll search for webhook, then click on custom webhook. Here, I'll click on add, and then I'll rename this webhook to invoicing webhook. And click on save. Then I'll copy the link to this webhook, then click on OK. Then I'll run our webhook. And then on Monday, I'll click on integrate. And then I'll click on webhooks. And then here, I'll choose these as our template. Here, I'll use another account and paste the webhook URL that we just copied. Then click on connect. Here it says fail to communicate with the URL provided. Here, we return this text using a webhook response. So I'll add another module. On webhooks, I'll click on webhook response. And I'll write challenge. Then here I'll add our text and click on OK. Then I'll run our webhook. Then click on connect. You can see that it ran successfully. I'll delete this webhook response. And then I'll set up our webhook. So I like to send our webhook when the status of one of our clients changes to send invoice. Then I'll click on create automation. Now to test if our webhook works, I'll run our webhook again and then change the status of one of our clients to send invoice. You can see that our webhook works perfectly. We're getting the specific client whose status we just changed. To get the rest of their data, I'll copy this pulse ID. And then I'll search for Monday, then search for get an item module, then click on get an item. Here I'm going to add our pulse ID, and then choose our board, which is recruitment clients. Then click on OK. And then I'll run this module by pasting our pulse ID, then clicking on OK. And then here you can see that we're getting the rest of their data: their first name, last name, company name, their email, the desired job title, the job type, and the key skills. Create an invoice and send it to our clients. So I'm going to use Stripe as our payment provider. So I'll add another module and then search for Stripe. On Stripe, we're going to start by creating these clients on Stripe. So I'll click on create a customer. Description can add recruitment services. Then for the email, you can add the email address right here. For the name, you can add their name. And then we can add their phone number and the address if you have their information. Then I'll click on OK. And then here on Stripe, I'm going to create an invoice item. For the customer ID, we're going to add their customer ID after we've created them right here. For input and amount, we're going to add by a total amount. Then here we're going to add the amount that we're charging for services. You can say it's $2,000, but the amount right here that you add right here will be in cents. So you need to add 2 extra zeros to convert the amount into dollars. For the currency, we're using USD. For the description, we can add recruitment services. You can also add the period, the start period and end period if you want. Then you'll click on OK. And here now we can create an invoice. On invoices, I'm going to click on create an invoice. For the customer ID, we're going to add the customer ID from after we created our customer. Here you can choose our collection method. You can choose to charge automatically or to send an invoice. If you choose to send an invoice, we'll need to add days until due. You can add 3 days. And then you can click on OK. And then on Stripe, we're going to finalize the draft of this invoice. Then here we're going to add the invoice ID of our invoice and click on OK. And now here we're going to send the invoice to our client via email. So on email, I'll click on send an email. Then here I'll rename this module to invoice email and click on OK. Now for our invoice email, we're going to add the email address of our client from Monday right here. So this email will be the recipient email. The subject line of this email could be in the lines of invoice for recruitment services, Lax recruitment agency. Content type, we're going to choose plain text, and the content of this email could be on the lines of hi, first name. Thank you for choosing Lax recruitment agency for your recruitment needs. We are pleased to have separated you and your team. You can access your invoice to the recently completed recruitment services using the link below. And then here we are adding the link to our invoice from this URL right here. And then we're also adding the invoice details like the invoice number, the total amount due right here, then the due date over here. For your convenience, payment instructions are included in the invoice. If you have any questions or require any adjustments, please do not hesitate to contact us at, and then we are adding our email and our phone number. Thank you for your prompt attention to this matter. We appreciate the opportunity to work with you and look forward to assisting you again in the future. Best regards, Lax Recruitment Agency. So this could be the email that we are using to send our client their invoice. Now, let us set up a follow-up email. So we're going to send the payment email reminder 1 day after the due date is passed. So here, I'll add another module, and then on tools, I'll set a date variable. So here, I'll name our variable to date, then I'll give it the variable now, and click on OK. And then here I'll add another module, and then on Stripe, we're going to search for the invoice. So I'll click on search invoice module. For the customer ID, we're going to add the customer ID after we created them over here. The status of our invoice should be open. So if the invoice is still open on the due date, we are going to send our client the payment email reminder. And then for the collection method, we're going to choose charge automatically, and then we can limit it to 1, then click on OK. Now, we like to search for invoice on the due date. So here, I'll set up a filter and label it to due date. And then here, for the condition, you can say that the date should equal to, and then I'm going to search for date time operators. And then I'm going to say that the date should equal to the due date. And then click on OK. So if it's the due date, we're going to search if our client has paid their invoice. Then if they wouldn't have paid their invoice, we're going to send them the payment email reminder. So I'll click on send an email, then I'll rename this module to payment email reminder. And then here I'll click on OK. We'd like to send the payment reminder email 1 day after the due date. So here I'll set up a filter and label this to payment reminder. And then for the condition, we'll say that the amount due has to exist. And then we can set up another condition. Then here we can say that the date should equal to, then I'm going to choose the date time operator. And then here, I'm going to click on date and time, and click on add days. And then here we're going to add the due date right here. And then we're going to send it 1 day after the due date. And then I'm going to click on OK. To test if automation works, I'll run our automation. I'll change the status of one of our clients to send invoice. You can see that automation ran successfully. We triggered our webhook after we changed the status of one of our clients to send invoice. And we got their data right here. We created them on Stripe, and we created an invoice item, and we created an invoice, and we finalized the invoice, and we send the invoice to our client via this email right here with this subject line. And then here's the link that they're going to use to pay the invoice. We also have our invoice details right here. When it's the due date, we're going to check if the client has paid the invoice using this module right here. And then if they wouldn't have paid the invoice, we're going to send them a payment reminder using our payment reminder. With this simple automation, we've automated the invoicing and payment reminder process for recruitment agency. The next process that we're going to automate for recruitment agency is the employee training for new recruiters process. We will create an automation that automatically sends new recruiters training materials and a scheduling link via email. So on our recruitment agency system folder, I'll click on create a new scenario. We're going to create a webhook that will be triggered after the status of a new recruiter changes to onboard. So on Monday, I've created another board for recruiters. So here's where we're going to add new recruiters. So here we're getting their full name, their email, the status, and then on status we have intake and onboard is the status of each of our recruiters. We're also getting their work experience, language, skills, certifications, and interests. So here, I'll click on webhooks, then click on custom webhook. Here I'll click on add, and then I'll rename this webhook to employee training. And then click on save. Here I'll copy the link to our webhook, then click on OK. And then I'll run our webhook. And then on our board, I'll click on integrate. And then here I'll click on webhooks. Then I'll use this as our template. Here I'll use another account. Then I'll paste our webhook URL right here and click on connect. It says fail to communicate with the URL provided. Here, we'll need to return this challenge text using a webhook response. So on webhooks, I'll click on webhook response. And then here, I'll add 2 curly braces. I'll write challenge and then add our text right here, then click on OK. Then I'll run our webhook. And then I'll click on connect. You can see that it ran successfully. Here I'll delete our response and then set up our webhook. So I like to send our webhook on the state just to onboard. Then I'll click on create automation. I'll run our webhook again to test it. And then I'll change the status of one of our recruiters. You can see that it ran successfully. And we're getting the specific recruiter whose status we just changed. Yeah, I'll copy this pulse ID. And then I'll search for and search for get an item module. Click on get an item. For the ID, I'm going to add the pulse ID. Then for the board ID, recruiters, and click on OK. Then I'll run this module by pressing our pulse ID, then clicking on OK. And then here you can see that we're getting the rest of their data right here, like their full name and their email. Now with their email, we can create a scheduling link and send it to them via email. So I'll search for Calendly. then click on create a scheduling link. For the maximum event, I'm going to choose 1. Then for the event type, choose kickoff call as our event type, then click on OK. I'm going to rename it to kickoff call, then click on OK. Here, we can get our training materials from our Google Drive folder and send the materials to our new recruiters via email. So here, on Google Drive, I'll search for files and folders. Here I'm going to choose the folder with our materials, should be files. Then I'm going to retrieve files and folders, and I'll perform a full text search. And I like to search for training material, and then you can limit it to 1. Then click on OK. Then I'll run this module to see if we're going to get our training materials. You can see we're getting our training materials right here. So I'll rename this to training materials. Then I'll click on OK. Then I'll create a link for our folder. Then on Google Drive, I'll click on get a share link. For file ID, I'll add the file ID of materials. The role, I'll leave it as reader. For the type, I'll choose anyone, then click on OK. I'll rename this to training materials link. And then click on OK. And now we can send our new recruiters the scheduling link, the training materials link via email. So I'll add another module, and then on email, I'll click on send an email module. We can rename this module to new recruiters email. And then I'll click on OK. For our new recruiter's email, here we'll add the email address of our new recruiter. The subject line of this email could be the lines of welcome to Lax Recruitment Agency, onboarding information. The content type, we're choosing plain text. And the content of this email could be the lines of hi, first name, or the full name. We're excited to have you on board and look forward to helping you succeed in your new role as part of our team. To get you started, here's what you can expect in the coming days. We've prepared a comprehensive set of training materials to help you get familiar with our processes and systems. You can access the full training folder on our Google Drive using the link below. Then we're adding the link of our folder from the Get Share link module right here. We're also telling them to introduce you to the rest of the team and get to know you one another. We'll schedule a team introduction call. Please use the link below to book a time that works best for you. And then here we're telling them to schedule for an introduction call here using the booking URL on Calendly. Then we're concluding the email by saying, if you have any questions or need assistance as you go through the materials, feel free to reach out. We are thrilled to have you join our team and look forward to seeing the great work you'll contribute to Lax Recruitment Agency. Then you'll click on OK. Now, to test if automation works, I'll run it. I'll change the status to onboard. You can see that automation ran successfully. We triggered our webhook after we changed the status of one of our recruiters to onboard. And we created a scheduling link on Calendly. And we sent them to schedule for a kickoff call. And we also got our training materials from our Google Drive folder. Then we created a link for the training materials, and we sent them the training materials and the scheduling link via this email right here with the subject line and this content right here. We'll give them access to training materials and then telling them to schedule for an introduction call using this link right here. So with this simple automation, we've automated the employee training process for a recruitment agency. The next process that we're going to automate is social media recruitment process, where we're going to schedule job listing images across social media platforms at designated time. To automate the social media recruitment process, on our recruitment agency system folder, I'll click on create a new scenario. We're going to start this automation after images have been added to a Google Drive folder. So on Google Drive, I'll click on watch files in a folder. Then here we're going to choose our folder that we'd like to watch. For example, we can choose Lax Automation. You can limit it to let's say 1. Then click on OK. And here you can choose when we'd like to start, and we can choose to start manually. And here I'm going to choose our image, this folder. I'll create a share link of our image. I'll add the file ID of the image right here. For the user, I can say no with the link and click on OK. So yeah, I'll choose to start from our image right here. And click on OK and run our automation. So you can see we got our image, and this is the image that we'd like to post. We created the link over here. So here I'll add another module, and then on HTTP, I'm going to click on get a file. I'm going to add the URL of our image from this share link right here and click on OK. Here, I like to post this image to 4 social media platforms. So I like to post it on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, and Twitter. So I'll click on flow control, and then here I'll click on router. Since we like to post on 4 social media platforms, I'll add 4 routes. The first one will be Facebook. So I'll search for Facebook, then click on Facebook page. And here I'll click on create a post with photo. So here, to post our image on Facebook, we'll first of all click on our page, and then here post the file that we got right here. Here we can choose to write a caption or not, and then here I'll click on OK. Sometimes it usually have errors, but just click on it twice. And then we can do the same with Instagram. Then click on Instagram for business, then click on create a photo post. You can do the same with LinkedIn. Then click on LinkedIn, and then here we'd like to create a user image post. You can do the same with Twitter. Then click on Twitter. Here we're going to click on the previous version, and then I'll click on upload the media. Here we'll click on add item, and we're going to choose our file right here, and then click on OK, and then click on OK. And then we can add a new item, and then choose the current version. Then here we're going to click on create a post. Here is where you're going to add your captions. For example, and here I'll click on OK. Here you can add an AI module that will help you write the caption. Automation, we are only going to, after the images have been added to a folder, we're going to directly post them on our social media platforms. Now, if you like to schedule them, I'll use this tool called Vista Social. Vista Social. It's an incredible tool that you can use to schedule social media posts on different social media platforms. So using this tool, you can schedule a post on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and Twitter. So here I'll click on schedule a new post. Now, to schedule the post using Vista Social, you'll first of all need to create an account on Vista Social, then connect your Vista Social account to make using your API key. And then you can select the file and also add the captions and the posting dates that you like to schedule your post. And we can clone these, do the same with Instagram, clone these and do the same with LinkedIn, then clone these and do the same with Twitter here. So with this simple automation, we're automatically posting or scheduling our job listing images to our social media platforms. So with this simple automation, we've automated the social media recruitment process for recruitment agency. The next process that we're going to automate is the referral process. I'll click on create a new scenario. I'll rename our scenario to referral automation. And then here, I'll create a webhook that will be triggered after the status of one of our clients changes to ask for referral. So here, I'll click on webhooks, then click on custom webhook. Here I'll click on add, then I'll rename our webhook to referral automation. And then click on save. Here I'll copy the link of our webhook, then click on OK. And then I'll run our webhook. Then here I'll click on integrate. Here I'll click on webhooks. Then I'll use this as our template. Here I'll use another account, paste the webhook URL that we copied from our webhook, and click on connect. This will communicate with the URL provided. Yeah, we return this challenge text using a webhook response. So I'll search for webhook, then click on webhook response. Then here I'll add 2 curly braces, and then I'll write challenge right here. Then I'll add our text, and then I'll run our webhook again. Click on connect. You can see that it ran successfully. I'll delete the response, and then I'll set up our webhook. So I'll like to send a webhook when the status of one of our clients changes to ask referral. Then I'll click on create automation. Now to test if our webhook works, I'll run it, and then I'll change the status of one of our clients to ask referral. You can see that it ran successfully, and we're getting the specific client whose data we just changed. I'll get the rest of the data. I'll copy this pulse ID, and then here I'll add another module. Then on Monday, I'll search for get an item module, and click on get an item. For the ID, I'm going to add our pulse ID. Then for the board ID, I'm going to search for our recruitment clients. Click on OK. And then here, I'll run this module by pasting our pulse ID over here. And click on OK. And then here, we can see we're getting the rest of their data, like their first name, last name, company name, their email. Now we can send them a referral form that we created on Typeform for them to fill in and give us the details of the person that they would like to refer our business to. On Typeform, I've created a form that I've renamed to Recruitment Agency Referral Survey Form. On this form, we're asking our clients to fill in their details right here. So they're going to fill in their first name, last name, and their email. And they're also going to fill in the referrals details. So they're going to fill in their first name, last name, and their email. Also asking them how they know the person they would like to refer our business to. So here they're going to type in the answer. So it could be their friend, their family member, or their colleague. Then we're also asking them, would you like us to let them know you refer them? And we're giving them the option to either choose yes or no right here. So this is the form that we like to send our clients for them to fill in the details of the person they would like to refer our business to. So now to get the link of this form, I'll click on share. You can see that we are getting the link of our form. Now, I'll copy this unique ID of our form, and on make, I'll search for Typeform, then click on get a form module. For the ID, I'm going to add the unique ID that we just copied, and click on OK. Then I'm going to run this module. You can see we're getting our recruitment agency referral survey form, and this is the link that we're going to send our client for them to fill in the details of the person they would like to refer our business. I rename this module to referral survey form. And then click on OK. Now with our form, we can send it to our client via email. So click on emails. I'll click on add another module and click on emails. Then I'll click on send an email module. Then I'll rename this email to referral email. And then click on OK. For referral email, we're going to add the email address of our client from Monday. So this email right here. And then the subject line of this email could be on the lines of we value your referral, Lax recruitment agency. For the content type, we're choosing plain text. The content of the email could be on the lines of dear first name. We've truly appreciated the opportunity to work with you and are always striving to connect with more amazing clients like you. If you know someone who might benefit from our recruitment services, we'll be grateful if you could refer them to us. To make it easy, we've prepared a simple form for you to share their details. Then here we're going to add the link to our form, which is this link. As a token of our appreciation, we'll be happy to discuss a special reward for successful referrals. Thank you for considering sharing Lax recruitment agency with your network. Should you have any questions or need further assistance, do not hesitate to reach out. On regards, Lax recruitment agency. So this is a simple automation that we created to send our clients a referral survey form so they can add the details of the person they would like to refer our business to. To test if it works, I'll run automation. Then on Monday, I'll change the status of one of our clients to ask referral. You can see that automation is running successfully. We triggered our webhook after we change the status of one of our clients to ask referral. We're getting our data. We're also getting our referral survey form. Then we're sending it to our client. This email. So this is the subject line of the email. And this is the content of our email right here with the link of our survey form. Now, after sending this referral survey form to our client, we can set up another automation that automatically captures the details of the person our client would like to refer our business to, and then add their details on Monday. So on Monday, I've created this board that I've renamed to recruitment referrals. Here's where we're going to capture the details of the person our client would like to refer our business. So we are getting their first name, last name, and the email. Also getting our client's first name and the last name and the email. We're also adding the relationship, and if the client would like us to notify the referral about our client. So on our recruitment agency system folder, I'll click on create a new scenario. I'll rename our scenario to add referrals to Monday via Typeform. Here on Typeform, I'm going to click on watch response module. Here I'm going to choose our form, which will be recruitment agency referral survey form, then click on OK. Here, I'm not going to submit a form again. I'm going to choose from my previous submission that I previously did. Click on OK, and then I'll run this module. Now here, I'm going to assume that we just captured these details that our client just submitted from our form. And then here, I'll search for tools and click on the sleep module. Here, I'll delay for 3 seconds and click on OK to give Typeform some time to populate the client's data. Here, we're going to add their details to Monday. So on Monday, I'll search for create an item. For the item name, we can add the first name and the last name of our referral. So we can add the first name, the last name. For the board ID, I'm going to choose recruitment referrals. I'm going to choose referral list. Then here, we can add values to our columns on Monday, the client data that they submitted via Typeform. So here, I'll add an item, then choose a column. I'm going to choose client email as our column. I'm going to add the value of our client email. Our client email will be this email right here. You can also add their email as a text. And I'm going to add a new item, choose a new column. And I'm going to choose the client first name. The client first name will be Joe. Then I'll add a new item, choose a new column, client last name. And here we're going to add the value for the last name. Then I'll add a new item, choose a new column. I'll add the notify them about you column. Then here I'll add the value. And then add a new item, choose a new column. Then I'll add the referral email. Then I'll add the value for the email. You can also add it as a text. Then I'll add a new item, choose a new column. Then I'm going to choose the referral first name. Then I'll add the value for the first name. Then I'll add a new item, choose a column. Then I'll add referral last name. Then I'll add the value for the last name. Then add a new item, choose a new column. Then I'll add the who are they to you column. Then we are going to add this value here and click on OK. We can send our client a thank you email. So here, I'll search for email, then click on send an email module. I'll rename this email to referral. Then for the email address, we're going to add our client's email address right here. The subject line of this email could be the lines of thank you for your referral. For the content type, I'm going to choose plain text. And the content of this email could be the lines of dear first name. I'm going to add our client's first name. Thank you so much for referring. And then we're adding the name of the person that they referred or they would like to refer our business to. We truly appreciate your trust in our services, and your support in helping us connect with more outstanding clients. Your referral means a lot to us, and we're excited about the opportunity to assist. And then we're also adding the referral first name with their recruitment needs. We'll be sure to provide them with the same level of care and dedication that we provided to you. As a token of our gratitude, we'd love to reward you with 20% off of our courses and 30% of your next subscription. If there's anything we can do for you, please do not hesitate to reach out. Thank you again for your support. It makes a world of difference. One regards, Lux Recruitment Agency. Now we can also send a contact email to our referral. Here on tools, I'm going to click on the sleep module, and we can delay for 3 seconds. So we can send our referral the contact email. We'd like to encourage our referral to schedule for a strategy session with us. So here I'll search for Calendly, then click on create a scheduling link. For the maximum event, I'm going to choose 1. For the event type, I'm going to choose strategy session. Then I'll click on OK. Yeah, can rename this to strategy session, and then click on OK. And then here we're going to send them the strategy session via email. The email address, we're going to add the referral email address right here. The subject line of this email could be on the lines of Lux Recruitment Agency Introduction. The content type, we're going to choose plain text. And the content of this email could be on the lines of dear first name. We're going to add the first name right here. I hope this message finds you well. Our client's first name recently referred you to Lux Recruitment Agency, and I wanted to take a moment to reach out and introduce myself. At Lux Recruitment Agency, we specialize in connecting top talents with exceptional opportunities. We are confident we can provide tailored solutions to meet your specific needs. I'd love to schedule a quick call to learn more about your goals and discuss how we can assist you. Please feel free to book a time that works for you using the link below. And here we're going to add our booking URL. In the meantime, if you have any questions or would like additional information, do not hesitate to contact us and then we're adding our email and our phone number. Looking forward to connecting with you. Best regards, Lux Recruitment Agency. To test if automation works, here, I'll choose to start from a previous submission. Right here. Here, we can delete our referral right here. And now let us run our automation and see if we're going to add our referral and our client to our referral board on Monday. You can see that automation ran successfully. Here, we got the submission of our client with the data of the person that would like to refer our business to. Then we're adding the referral to our Monday.com board. Then we are sending a thank you email to our client. And then we are creating a scheduling link. And then we're creating a scheduling link and sending the link to our referral via the referral contact email. Now, when we go to Monday, you can see that we just added a new referral here. We added their first name, last name, and the email. We started the client who referred our referral. Here, here's the first name, last name, the email, and the relationship. And if the client would like us to notify the referral about them. So with this simple automation, we added the referral that the client filled in on the survey form to our Monday.com board. Process that we're going to automate for recruitment agency in this video is the client feedback collection process. So on our recruitment agency system folder, I'll click on create a new scenario. I'll rename our scenario to client feedback. And then here, I'll create a webhook that will be triggered after the status of one of our clients changes to ask for feedback. So here, I'll click on webhook, then click on custom webhook. And here I'll click on add. And then I'll rename our webhook to client feedback. And then I'll click on save. And then here I'll copy the link to our webhook, then click on OK. And then on Monday, I'll click on integrate. Then here I'll click on webhooks. I'll use this as our template. Here I'll use another account and paste the webhook URL right here. Here I'll run our webhook. And then I'll click on connect, and it says fail to communicate with the URL provided. Now we return this challenge text using a webhook response. So on webhooks, I'll click on webhook response. And then here I'll add two curly braces and write challenge right here. And here we're going to add our text and click on OK. And then now here I'll run our webhook again and then click on connect. You can see that it ran successfully. I'll delete this module. And then I'll run this webhook to test it. And then here I'll set up a webhook. So we like to send a webhook when the status of one of our clients changes to ask for feedback, and click on create automation. Now to test if our webhook works, I'll change the status of one of our clients to ask for feedback. You can see our webhook ran successfully, and we're getting the specific client whose status we just changed. Now to get the rest of their data, like their first name, last name, and their email, I'll copy this pulse ID, and then here I'll add another module, and then on Monday I'll search for get an item module and click on get an item. For the ID, I'm going to add a pulse ID, and for the board ID, I'm going to search for recruitment clients board, then click on OK. And here I'll run this module by pasting our pulse ID right here, then click on OK. Now here you can see we're getting our clients data. The email we can send them is a feedback survey form that we created on Typeform. On Typeform, I've created this form that I've renamed to recruitment agency feedback survey form. On this form, we're asking our clients a series of questions. They're going to fill in and give us feedback of our services. The first question that we're asking them is, how satisfied are you with our services? And then here they're going to rate us from 0 to 10. The second question we're asking them is, how likely are you to recommend our services to others? And they're going to rate us from 0 to 10. The third question that we're asking them is, how well did we communicate through the project? And then they're going to type in the answer right here. And the fourth thing that we're asking them is there anything else you'd like to share about your experience with our services? And then they're going to type in the answer right here. And then the last thing that we're asking them is, do you have any suggestions for improving our services? And then they're going to type in the answer right here. You can add more questions and go much more deeper with the questions to extract feedback from your clients. Now, to get the ID of this form, I'll click on share. Here on our link to a form, I'll copy the last part of our link. This is a unique ID to this form. And then on automation, I'll add another module and search for Typeform, then click on get a form module. Now, for the ID, we're going to add the unique ID that we just copied from Typeform. Then I'll run this module. You can see that we're getting our feedback survey form right here. So, and the link that we're going to send to our client is this link right here. Then, so here, I'll rename this module to feedback survey form, then click on OK. We're going to send our client this survey form via email. Rename this module to client feedback email. And then here we'll add the email address of our client, which we'll get from Monday. And the subject line of this email could be in the lines of, we value your feedback, likes recruitment agency. The content type of this email, we're going to choose plain text. And then the content of this email could be in the lines of dear first name. So here we're going to add their first name. It's been a pleasure working with you, and we're always looking forward to improve and enhance the service we provide. We would greatly appreciate it if you could take a few moments to share your feedback about your experience with Lux Recruitment Agency. Your insights are invaluable in helping us serve you and others better. Please use the link below to complete our quick feedback form. And here we're going to add the link to our form. It should be this link right here. And then we're concluding the email by saying, if you have any additional comments or suggestions, feel free to reach out directly to us and then we're adding our email and our phone number. Thank you for your time and for trusting us with your recruitment needs. We look forward to your feedback. Warm regards, Lax Recruitment Agency. Now to test if automation works, I'll run it. On Monday, I'll change the status of one of our clients to ask for feedback. You can see that we triggered our webhook after we changed the status of one of our clients to ask for feedback. Then we got our client's data here. Then we got our survey form that we created on Typeform. Then with our client's data, we're sending the client the survey form, the client feedback email right here, with the subject line and these content right here, with a link for them to fill in and give us feedback of our surveys. We can create another automation that automatically adds the client's feedback to monday.com, similar to the one that we created right here. The automation is going to be similar to this one, from this point to this point right here, where we're waiting for them to fill in the survey form, and then we're going to collect their feedback. Then we're going to add the feedback to a board that we'll have created on Monday. And then we're going to send them a thank you email. These are all the processes for recruitment agency that we automated in this video. The first automation that we created, we were automating adding clients from Monday via Typeform. We are collecting leads data from our ads, and then adding the leads data to Monday and sending a confirmation email to the leads, and add notification to our team using the simple automation. The second automation that we created in this video is an automation that automates candidate screening. So here we're watching for emails that our candidates are going to send us and filtering the emails using a subject line, or the email that they're sending the emails to. And then if the emails have a resume, we are extracting the information from the resume to our candidates board on Monday using the simple automation. The third automation that we created was a candidate onboarding automation. We're automating creating a contract, a candidates folder, and a candidate Slack channel, and sending the contract and the client folder to our candidate via the onboarding email. The fourth automation that we created in this video was a client onboarding automation, creating a scheduling link for an onboarding call. We're also getting our onboarding checklist from our Google Drive folder and creating a link for the checklist. We're also creating a Slack channel for communication with our client. And then we're sending the scheduling link and the checklist link to our client via the onboarding email. For a recruitment agency is the invoicing and payments reminder process. On this automation, we created our client on Stripe, and we created an invoice, and we sent them the invoice via the invoice email. We're also searching for our invoice after the due date to check if they have paid the invoice, and then if they wouldn't have paid the invoice, we are sending them a payment reminder email 1 day after the due date is passed. The sixth automation that we created in this video was an employee training automation for new recruiters. On this automation, we are automating creating a kickoff call link. Then we're getting training materials from a Google Drive folder. Then we're creating a link for the training materials. Then we are sending the scheduling link and the training materials link to our new recruiters via the new recruiters email. The seventh automation that we created in this video was a job listing, posting, and scheduling automation. On this automation, we are watching for images or videos added to a specific folder on our Google Drive. Then we're creating a shareable link for the image or videos, and then we are posting the images or videos to our social media platform on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and Twitter. We're also scheduling the posts using Vista Social. The eighth automation that we created in this video was a referral automation. On this automation, we are triggering a webhook after the status of one of our clients changes to ask for referral. Then we are getting our client's data and getting a referral survey form that we created on Typeform. Then we are sending the client the survey form via the referral email. The automation that we created in this video was an automation that adds referrals to Monday via Typeform. And the last automation that we created in this video was a client feedback automation, where we are sending our clients a feedback survey form for them to fill in and give us feedback of our services via the client feedback email. These are all the automations that we created in this video, automating processes for recruitment agency. Now, if you have an automation or a system in mind that you'd like for me to create, just comment down below in the comment section. But for now, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.